don't grill year-round like Barbecue Naz does, your grill is probably ready for a little tune-up before you start the season.
Absolutely.
So Naz is going to show us what to do.
Cleaning and maintaining. Actually, if you maintain the grill throughout the year, if you're grilling all year long, maintaining it is always easier than cleaning it. Where you have to, if you don't use it in the winter time and you're coming out for the first time, there's many different things you need to do. Make it, make it work efficiently for you.
All right.
Have a kit. You have a bucket. You need some water. You need some soap.
Just
some gloves.
Soap?
You can use dish soap. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to use a little steel, very fine stainless steel wool for spots like on top of here. You know where the soap. Let me just show you. I'll show you how easy this is.
Okay.
You just take some soap and water and you go over it and it'll take it off. See what I mean?
Oh yeah, look at that.
But go with the grain. You got to make sure you go with the grain, and that's how you get these spots off. But if during the season when you're using the grill, if you had like a wet cloth, and just when the grill goes on, everything starts getting loose, the grease, because that's all that is grease.
Okay.
It just smoke carries the grease and it just bakes it right on. You can just wipe it down along the way.
Save
it's
yourself some work later.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you maintain it, you never have to worry about cleaning it.
Okay.
Next, getting into it is having a kit like this here, where you would use a stainless steel cleaner for stainless steel grills, an environmentally friendly degreaser is always great to have using something like that. If the side of your panels need some painting, make sure you use a high heat paint.
Right.
Very important. And don't use this, the oven cleaner. Don't use that.
Okay.
This is an oven cleaner. Some of the chemicals in here will flake the paint off the cast aluminums. You want to use a degreaser or water and vinegar if there's a white buildup, water and vinegar. And then once you dry it down, take some vegetable oil, go along the outside again, you'll see it shine up again. Okay. But having a kit is very, very important.
Okay.
Another important thing when you're doing it is a lot of people will take, and I've said this through the season here, that this piece over here on cast iron cooking grills is a big no-no. Porcelain, the cast iron is topped with porcelain. Porcelain is glass. That sharp edge, if you get in between there, and sometimes it's this, or it could be used like a spatula. People use spatulas to get their burgers.
Yeah.
That's sharp edges. You got to be careful. But if you do get some rusting, it's okay. You want to clean the rust off, dry them up, put them on your grill, and put like a coating of lard on there.
Oh.
Just coat them up and just let it on cool. Then turn the grill on high and cure them. That way the openings, where the porcelain's chipped, the fat will get in there, it'll season it. It's like curing a cast iron pan. The more you do it, the more you use them, the better it is. Very, very important. When you're getting in, very important, is the flavorizer system.
Yep.
This flavor wave here, has to be cleaned. If you get a buildup like that, you use a spatula, rubber spatula when you're cleaning, not the steel ones. If this was porcelain or you're going to clean the inside, that porcelain will scratch the porcelain, right? Okay. Or the steel. The steel will scratch the porcelain. This is a putty knife.
Those big flare-ups where your food is catching on fire?
Yeah, that's because the juice, the juice doesn't burn. The juice, this is your heat medium. This is where the juice vaporizes, makes smoke, and goes into your food. That has to be clear all the time. If you have any buildup, all you're doing is cooking yesterday's or last week's foods over again, and you're creating a black smoke, and that's not good for you. Just got to be clean, maintain them. Lastly, very important, got to do the safety. Do we have much time?
Yeah, go for it.
So the burners, I know I'm getting right into this. The burners, if you're starting to get closure on this, like that, you want to take a brush and clean those burners. Make sure that the burners are completely open. Even something like this here. Let's see if I can take this off. This has got to be clean. This is the rear burner. Okay. Just clean it. Get some steel wool, some soap. Make sure the holes are all open. Make sure these holes are all open. You can take a Venturi brush. Let me grab this here.
So you want to set aside some time to do this, like not 5 minutes before you're about to throw the steaks on. Right?
Exactly. People will take this out of the winter time. They'll take it out and turn the grill on because Barbecue Naz says, just turn on your grill and it's going to burn everything off. Remember Naz says it's going to turn to an ash? You got to get in there. If you start seeing flare-ups and you're getting all this grease, you got to take that out. You got to take the tray out. You got to take the drip pan out. Make sure you a lot of people will leave that over the winter time. You get droppings from animals in there because that's where they go. You got to clean that out. That's not healthy.
So what about the propane tank? Because I know a lot of people get scared by that because that can be dangerous.
Propane tank, very important. Thank you, Nancy. We're going to take a half soap, half water mixture like this, okay? Every time, you should do this every time you change your tank. If you have a propane tank for a grill, every time you change it and you tie this up, you take a soap and water mixture like this, half soap, half water. You get a brush, and you take your brush, and you go right on all the connections, everywhere. You got to check your hoses. In the wintertime, these can become brittle and crack.
Right.
You got to make sure there's not. And then you turn on slowly. Once you get the soap on there, you do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you. Once you get the soap on, you slightly turn it. If you see any bubbles, and I'm going to create some bubbles just so you see it. Okay, watch. when you see bubbles forming like that, that means there's gas leak. You got to turn that off right away, make sure it's hooked up properly, make sure there's no leaks, make sure the gasket's all working. Very, very important.
Can you leave the propane at this level on all the time?
When you're grilling?
On and off here?
Great question. I like leaving my tank off. When I'm done with my grill, you start by slowly turning on the tank on your grill. You hook it up, you start your tank, then you go to one burner and you light it. Light the first burner, then you light the second one, and so on. Once I'm done, I leave the tank on, I turn off my burners. That pressure will stay inside the line. You can turn off your gas tank because this pressure will still be in there. So the next time you start, you'll get a nice flow and the pressure's even. That way you don't, if you incorrectly start it, it will trip and go into a safety mode. Nowadays, there's safety modes on the grills. It's for safety. If something, you don't want to have that explosion. Well, explosion, not an explosion. It's not an explosion.
Pop when you
that pop. When all the burners are on at the same time? Yeah. You want to make sure that, it's checked, that there's pressure going. It's in the manual. How to start your tank is in the manual. Learn how to start it correctly. You'll never have the tripping, the safety. People will call and say, hey, my grill doesn't go past 300. You have to disconnect it, let the air out, and reset it again.
All right, lots to do before you get out there and get
grilling.
That was
a lot of information.
That was. Thanks, Nat.
Clean your grill.
We're going to take a break now. Sports is coming up next, and London and Plymouth square off in Game 3 of their 08